What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. It's looking like we got a new Cyverse Ritual monster and maybe some World Legacy support with World Legacy Communion. Let's go ahead and get into these. I'm pretty excited for the read. And we've got a second ritual for Cyverse appears, along with a new trap card designed to enhance crawlers. Bruh. Well, let's get to the part I'm excited for, and then we'll talk about some crawler support. I was thinking more World Legacy support. All right. Let's refocus, recenter. We got Paladin of Storm Dragon, a level 4 light Cyverse Ritual effect monster. This should be pretty exciting. Attack 1900, defense 900. Reminds me of the other Paladin cards, but it's got Firewall there. That's pretty cool. You can ritual summon this card with Sign at Ritual. The first and second effects of this card's name can only be activated once per turn. Hard once per turns at that. At the start of the damage step, when this card attacks a monster, so not battles, you can return that monster to the hand. So a pseudo Grand Mole that doesn't bounce itself. Alright. I do like that it's at start of damage step. That does take away it being able to, just go in again. Second effect, you can tribute this card, special summon one level 5 or higher Cyverse monster from your hand or deck, but that monster cannot activate its effects this turn. Doesn't stop it from attacking. I wish this was like a quick effect. Yeah, there's a lot just missing with this card that I wish it had. I wish this was a quick effect. I wish that this was during either player's turn by battle. It's a little rough, but I'm sure as the Cyverse archetype progresses, this effect will just get better. But at the same time, blocking off those effects is okay, so we need level 5 or higher Cyverse monsters that get effects when sent to the graveyard for link summoning. That's what we need to go fetch with it, because the negating of the effect no, cannot activate its effects this turn. Wouldn't that stop it from the graveyard too? It doesn't say with that name though, so I think it would only restrict it to the field, right? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm pretty sure that only restricts it to the field, even though it says that monster. I'm just not liking all the restrictions with this cards, guys. This is rough. Our World Legacy Communion, our crawler support. Normal trap card. You can only activate one effect among the first and second effects with this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. When an opponent's monster's effect is activated while you control a crawler monster, watch out because they're supposed to be face down. The activated effect becomes return one face-up monster your opponent controls to the hand. That's pretty good. Return. Notice it doesn't say target and return. That's actually really nice non-targeting bounce removal. They will have link monsters up along with their face downs, you would think usually, so that's actually not bad. And it's got a second effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one link monster, special summon one crawler monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard in face down defense position to your zone that the targeted monster points to. So this has to hit the graveyard. It can't get cycloned. It's a regular trap, so you're gonna send it anyways on its own, basically. So yeah, it's gonna get there, and I don't know. This is rough because at first I thought this effect was better, but it says when an opponent's monster effect is activated while you control a crawler. So now you need to meet 2 conditions to get that non-targeting bounce, but it's still at least decently nice. It's nice that it doesn't target, but it's still rough. The banish effect does seem better. You target one link monster and you special summon a crawler from your hand, deck, or graveyard in face down defense. So the kind of position you would want it in, I assume. And it's any link monster, not specifically a crawler link monster, so it does help the genericity of this card. It's interesting. So I guess you could just send it with Foolish Burial Goods if you really wanted to turbo it out. It's got a really good graveyard effect, and it's got a conditional rely on your opponent to bounce effect, but they'll at least have a monster on board when you're going to activate this effect, so there is that bonus. But if they're summoning Inspector Border, beefy body, and attacking you, this ain't gonna do much. These two cards, they just show the kind of filler cards that end up in a set, in my opinion, that have these heavy restrictions placed on them that stop them from being great. Like, I understand the second card's actually really good with Foolish Burial Goods, and it'll make its way to the graveyard eventually with your own effect. But there's conditions to be met on both effects, which is going to be rough for it. I could understand controlling any, you know, Krawler monster, like, and just being able to activate at any time rather than specifically with an opponent's effect. I was really hyped for these cards. I'm not gonna lie. I might seem like I'm rambling a bit, but I saw these cards arts and I was really excited, guys. Like, I was ecstatic. And I don't know what I expected with the Paladin, because the Paladins usually aren't that good. I just saw a Knight riding Firewall, and I got souped and hyped up. All right, let's get on to our next little bit of news here. And an update with Summon Sorceress. We've got eligibility date. I just totally crapped out there. Eligibility date of April 24/20 Blaze It of 2018. This means this is the last day you can subscribe to the Shonen Jump subscriptions in order to get this, not that it will be legal for play. This expected delivery date of June 9th means it will be legal a week later after, it should be assumed. So June 16th is when this card should be legal for play in the American and Canada regions, the USA specifically. Latin America completely excluded from this, so if you're anywhere but the OCG or the United States and Canada, you won't have access for this card, but you will have access to it in time for our WCQ. People are asking me my thoughts on this card's price, and it really depends on Flood. Are we getting Needle Fiber? Are we not getting Needle Fiber? Battles of Legend 2 could heavily impact that with introducing Needle Fiber or not introducing Needle Fiber, but there's still going to be a lot of plays for it. It's still going to be a buff to several decks. I think it's going to come in at the $20 to $30 price point. It is a waifu card, which we've seen with Apprentice Illusion Magician can bolster a price way above that price point. I see people already talking about ridiculous prices for it, but I think realistically, since it doesn't have its use yet, it's a Link monster, which will deter those nostalgic duelists who are going for Apprentice Illusion Magician. I think $20 is a good resting point, especially since everybody's already ate off their Link Kribos. I could be completely wrong. It could go for way more. It's definitely a meta-defining card if we get Needle Fiber. And if we do get Needle Fiber, this could easily be a $40 to $50 card. Like, I could see that. But it all really depends on us getting that before the WCQ. What does Konami want to do with our WCQ this season? I'm pretty excited to see, guys. But I also do want to point out, Alenteo's video, if you didn't watch it, is really good. It runs down some of the history of cards that are jump promos that United States and Canada got that the rest of the world didn't, that just impacted metagames. Like, they never got really a chance to, like, play with full power shooting Quasar Dragon. They didn't get it for 3 years. I want to point out another magazine card, Thunder King Ryo. How about Elemental Hero Absolute Zero? This has been happening to them for ages. People are crying about Link Rebo and this, and crying out against it. But I feel like a lot of those are newer players who don't realize this has happened over and over. Utopia the Lightning wasn't out to Towers. They didn't have that. They didn't even have Crab King. They didn't even have Zubaba General the Getaway to get out of Towers. So, like, just fully different experiences. The Leverett and Hoban clan actually, I believe, went down to a YCS in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And they got there and they learned that everyone was playing Klee, and then they quickly learned why, and they couldn't adapt in time, and they did pretty terrible at that event. And that was the primary reason why. So this is just looking like history repeating itself, and there's no telling when the cycle will stop. In my personal opinion, we look at the prices from our new Duelist packs based around the characters, and we see those cards hold value. I feel like if you put collector cards like that in here and then don't special edition them, it's actually a much more fair balance. It gives collectors a specific card that might not be meta relevant, might boost a deck like Red Eyes, and make it seem like it's harder to get, but all you got to do is subscribe to Jump and not pay the secondary market price to guarantee you get it. So you'll still get your guaranteed value, but not an impact on meta play. But the special editions are also how Europe gets them. So I would like to just see some kind of solution, maybe like that, where the Ultra will still hold value since it's a collector's card. But the realistic solution is just start selling Jump worldwide. Just do it. Just make subscriptions available over there, and I think all of this will be solved. What do you guys think is a good solution for this? I would love to hear your answers down in the comment section below. And what did you think of our new cards? Are you, am I too disappointed? Am I too harsh? I'm not a Krawler player, but I've tried the deck a few times and didn't like it each time. Flip decks 2K18. But Subterrors are doing a big at regionals, so maybe I'm too harsh. And what do you think of this Paladin over here?